Picture a world where the sun beats down on a vast savanna, where the air hums with the calls of strange creatures, and where our ancestors bare-skinned, upright, and sharp had moved through the grass with purpose. You might imagine them as rugged survivors, their bodies toughened by a brutal environment, their lives a constant struggle against nature. But what if the story of how we became the way we are is far more intricate, far more human, than you've been told? Why did we lose our fur, that thick coat that cloaks our closest relatives, the chimpanzees and gorillas? It's not just about sweating in the heat or running faster across open plains. The real reason stretches deeper, weaving together biology, behavior, and even the spark of our earliest cultures. Let's step back, millions of years ago, to the African landscapes where our hominin ancestors first stood tall. The world was changing, forests were shrinking, giving way to open grasslands. Our early relatives, like Australopithecus, faced a new reality: less shade, more sun, and a need to cover greater distances for food. You might think losing fur was a simple adaptation to stay cool. After all, a bare body sweats more efficiently, letting heat escape as we chased antelope or fled predators. But science tells us this is only part of the picture. Studies of human physiology show our sweat-based cooling system is unique among mammals, paired with an upright posture that minimizes sun exposure on our backs. Fossils from 3 million years ago, like those of Australopithecus afarensis, reveal bodies already adapted for walking long distances, suggesting fur loss began early. But why? Consider this. Losing fur wasn't just about surviving the heat, it was about signaling who we were. Anthropologists point to the role of skin in social bonding. Bare skin reveals emotions, blushing, goosebumps, even subtle shifts in color, that betray fear or excitement. In small, tight-knit groups where trust and cooperation were life or death, this visibility mattered. Imagine a band of early humans foraging together. A flushed face might signal exhaustion, prompting others to share water or food. Naked skin made us vulnerable but also honest, forging bonds that helped us survive. Ethnographic studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies, like the Hadza of Tanzania, show how physical closeness, touch, grooming, even noticing sweat or scars builds community. Our ancestors likely relied on these cues as fur faded, turning skin into a canvas for connection. But there's more. Losing fur may have been a defense against an invisible enemy: parasites. Fur harbors ticks, lice, and fleas, which carry diseases that can wipe out small groups. Archaeological evidence from early human sites like those in Kenya's Olduvai Gorge shows our ancestors used tools to scrape hides and process plants, suggesting they were already crafting shelters or clothing to replace furs. Protection. Bare skin, easier to clean and inspect, reduced the risk of infestations. Think of it, a mother carefully checking her child's skin for ticks, a small act of care that doubled as survival. This wasn't just biology at work, it was behavior, a step toward the ingenuity that defines us. Now, let's challenge another assumption. Did fur loss make us better hunters? As some claim, the endurance running hypothesis suggests we shed fur to chase prey over long distances, sweating to stay cool while our quarry overheated. Footprints from Laetoli, dated to 3.6 million years ago, show our ancestors walked efficiently, and studies of modern runners confirm humans can outlast many animals in a marathon. But daily life wasn't a constant sprint. Most food came from gathering plants, scavenging, or cooperative hunting with tools. Fur loss likely supported a mosaic of activities: walking, carrying, even resting in the shade of acacia. Social bonds and clever strategies mattered more than raw speed. As you picture these early humans, notice their adaptability. Bare skin wasn't just a physical change, it reshaped their world. They wove grass into mats, smeared ochre on their bodies for protection or ritual, and shared stories under starlit skies. Losing fur didn't make them weaker, it made them us. Their world was one of constant negotiation with the land, with each other, with the very bodies they inhabited. Bare skin, glistening under the African sun, wasn't just a trait, it was a catalyst. It demanded new ways of living, new tools, new ideas. Imagine a group of early humans, their shoulders exposed to the relentless heat, pausing to rub mud on their skin. This wasn't mere instinct. Archaeological finds, like ochre residues in South Africa's Blombos Cave, dated to 100,000 years ago, hint at deliberate use of pigments for sun protection or symbolic expression. But go back further, to 2 million years ago, and you see Homo habilis crafting stone tools, perhaps to cut plant fibers for shade or scrape hides for cover. Losing fur forced our ancestors to think, to innovate, to become the problem solvers we now take for granted. What did this look like in their daily lives? Picture a family group moving across the savanna, their skin a patchwork of dust and sweat. They carry woven baskets filled with roots and berries, evidence of their foraging prowess. Studies of ancient plant remains, like those near Lake Turkana, show a diverse diet, suggesting women and children played a central role in gathering. Bare skin made these tasks harder. Thorns scratched, sunburned, but it also spurred cooperation. A shared glance, a touch on the arm, a laugh at a stumbled step. These small moments, visible on naked skin, wove their social fabric tighter. Anthropological research on modern sand communities in Botswana reveals how storytelling and touch reinforce group identity. Our ancestors, too, likely sat close, their skin a map of their day's work, sharing food and tales as the fire crackled. But let's dig deeper. Fur loss reshaped not just survival but intimacy. Bearskin heightened touch, making it a language of its own. A parent's hand on a child's back, a partner's gentle nudge. These weren't just comforting, they were evolutionary. Neuroscientific studies show touch releases oxytocin, fostering trust and reducing stress. In a world without fur, touch became a lifeline, especially for infants. Unlike ape babies, who cling to their mother's fur, human newborns needed carrying. Fossil evidence of pelvic changes in early Homo, around 1.8 million years ago, shows adaptations for larger-brained babies, born more helpless. Skin-to-skin contact, now essential, strengthened bonds, ensuring parents invested in their vulnerable young. This shift, subtle but profound, laid the groundwork for our emotional depth. And what of the dangers? Bearskin exposed our ancestors to cuts, burns, even infections, yet they adapted with startling creativity. Ethnographic parallels, like the use of plant-based salves among Amazonian tribes, suggest early humans experimented with nature's pharmacy. Charred plant remains in 1.5 million-year-old hearths at Kubi Fora, Kenya. Point 2. Controlled fire use, perhaps for warmth or healing. Firelit nights, with skin glowing in the flicker, weren't just practical, they were cultural. Here our ancestors likely shared rituals, their exposed bodies painted or adorned. As seen in later cave art, losing fur didn't strip them bare. It gave them a stage to become human. So, why did we lose our fur? It wasn't one reason, but a tapestry of pressures: cooling, signaling, parasite defense, and social bonding, each amplifying the others. The savanna didn't just shape our bodies, it sculpted our minds. Every step, every touch, every glance across bare shoulders built the foundations of who we are. As you imagine, those early humans, don't see them as primitive. See them as curious, connected, endlessly inventive. Their skin, like ours, told stories of survival and love, of a world they made their own. This is the real reason we lost our fur, not to run faster or sweat better, but to become the species that touches, creates, and dreams. Their legacy lives in every handshake, every painted face, every moment we share. They shed their fur so we could wear our humanity.